video is sponsored by Xvive Wireless Systems. The future's here, of course. It's 2020. What did you expect? So you might spend around $600 or so for a wireless system. So these things can get pretty expensive. The Xvive U4 system is a great option if you want to save some cash. Hi, Mark Ali here, drummer and educator, to share with you the new Xvive U4 wireless monitoring system. A true plug-and-play system you can use for studio or live playing situations. This is an amazing system, great for guitar players, drummers, keyboard players, singers, anyone that wants to use a wireless system. You can even use this when recording video content like I'm doing right now. Have you really enjoyed not having to trip over wires like I have many times? Do you want to have a clean and organized workspace? Wireless is a great option for you. Full disclaimer, Xvive sent me this unit, but I will be absolutely, completely honest with you, regardless of any perceived biased opinion. They did send it to me and I do get to keep it, so that's cool. Now that that's clear, let's get into the details. Having a wireless system has been around a long time now, and it has its perks. The new Xvive U4 wireless system right out the box comes with everything you need to get started. So you have the transmitter, you have the receiver, you have a dual, that's 2 micro USB charging cable, which is awesome, and a nice little carrying case to hold everything. Feels really good too, nice quality case. You have an XLR to 1/4 inch converter to connect to a 1/4 inch connection. Thing though, it does not come with a charger, but anything around like a power bank or that little iPhone square thing will work perfectly. When you receive the unit, it's fully charged too, so that's always nice. You get some paperwork, but let's be honest, if you're like me, you kind of look up a PDF online or just watch a bunch of YouTube videos to have other people just explain it to you. This thing is a beast as far as build quality, being made of tough molded plastic and cast metal. Here's the best part, a little ASMR action for you. Ready? The good stuff. You literally can throw this at the... Okay, now don't go throwing it against a wall like a baseball or anything, but you get the idea. If you simply drop it on the floor, it's not going to shatter, so you don't have to worry about the quality. This thing is a beast. It's amazing. I love it. The battery life is stellar at around 5 hours of use, but if you test it out for yourself, you might even get more power. I heard that you can go up to 11 hours on a single charge. Trust me, that's pretty cool. Let's face it, if you're like me, you can't stand to have the power fall even below 50% before charging it again. If you're on a 4-hour gig with no breaks, you're good to go without even having to worry about it. Thing is though, do remember to turn it off or the battery will drain. Common sense things. When you do charge it, it takes about 90 minutes to charge to full capacity. Another option, if you can, plug it into an external battery. If you're just like me and are a little neurotic, you'd like to be better safe than sorry, then go ahead and do that. When installing it into a mixer or interface, just be sure to give it enough space. If you have a lot of cables next to each other, let's just say, also remember, big thing, press the button to release it from your mixer or interface and don't try to just yank it. I have a tendency to do that without thinking, or if it's crazy and you just can't remember to do it, just remember, press that button. As far as the details, the transmitter is super small, let's say compared to an XLR cable. You can just see how tiny that is. To my knowledge, there is nothing out there as tiny as this. The receiver is perfectly small as well if you compare it to your more common Shure system or any other brand out there. It's super tiny. Like, look at it, as big as my hand. It's more discreet and awesome and feels high quality. On top of the receiver, you have your volume control, the channel indicator with a button, the battery status LED, and the connection LED status. On top is where the on and off switch is located, next to your 3.5mm headphone output jack. On the side, you got the micro USB charging port. The internal battery lasts a long time too. It's got the same charging capabilities as a receiver, and it's more than ideal than what you're probably going to be using it for. Okay, another cool thing about these controls on the tippy top of the receiver you might find handy is that the on and off switch are for different controls. So when you turn it off and you turn it on later, you will have the same volume level that you had last time, which is perfect for an OCD, short-term minded dude like me. Also, you notice when you change the channel, bam, it will automatically connect and do it fast too, which is badass. The whole unit uses a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, which is basically a Wi-Fi signal. Now, most inner systems use radio frequencies, which is analog. The 2.4 gigahertz is a digital signal. That digital signal can lead up to about 90 feet or so before it goes away. If you compare it to an analog signal, you can go up to 300 feet. Don't ask how I know this stuff. Google is your friend. Your dedicated analog signal is limited by the FCC, so it's a designated frequency. And your digital signal is shared with other things like phones and other devices. It could possibly increase the risk of interference, but wouldn't worry too much, especially if you're just in your own private studio situation, you're fine. Cool thing too is you can use any in-ear monitors with this unit, like my Future Sonics in-ear monitors, the originals. Your favorite cans too? No problem. The headphone jack is a 3.5 millimeter connector, so it's pretty universal. The dual charger is really nice too because you don't have to individually charge each device separately. You can do it all at one time. You just have to use one charging source on hand and you are set to go. You have 6 channel presets on the receiver. So if you have 6 members on stage, you can have 6 receivers and go off one transmitter. If you're the only one using it, then you're fine. I kind of wish there were more channels just as options, just in case an interference were to happen and let's say the other 5 were not working good, you'd have more options, but I think you'll probably be good with just one. The transmitter has a female XLR. Use the XLR to 1/4 inch tip sleeve connector to connect to an unbalanced 1/4 inch connector. If you have a balanced 1/4 inch connection, then you can use a XLR male to 1/4 inch TRS cable if you have one. On top of the transmitter, here is where you have the turn it on or off button. You have the aux line selector, the channel display along with the button to change the channel, and you also have 2 LED lights, just to let you know the status of your charge and the power. Here on the side, you have your micro USB connector to charge it. It comes with an internal battery, which is great. Kind of wish there was an exchangeable battery, but the battery life is so good you really don't have to worry about it. Okay, so to get all techie on you, here's some details. The audio frequency response is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz minus 3 dB. So that's decibels, which is a unit that measures the intensity and power of the signal you get. You get 107 decibels of dynamic range, 107 decibel signal to noise ratio, and it delivers clear and detailed audio at any volume. You also have a high resolution 24-bit/48 kilobits per second audio and a mono signal. Not the ideal thing, but don't let mono deter you too much, it's fine. You can plug it to any audio interface or mixer. It comes with an XLR connector, which is handy. Last thing is that you can run 90 feet away to the back of the audience and still not lose connection. Watch this as I take a little walk outside and see how far this thing goes without losing any signal. All right, we're all plugged in. Got my Future Sonics ear monitors in. Consider this step number 1. Let's see how far it goes before it cuts out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31. Okay, about to go outside. It's gone. Okay, there we go. Okay, so going outside is when it cut out. So probably about 45 steps or so is when it kind of goes away. So roughly that much, depending on your Wi-Fi signal and how strong it is, that's probably going to be what you're going to be dealing with. And I'm back in the studio and it's nice and strong. So there you have it. All right, so in conclusion, you're gonna have to tweak this thing a bit. You're gonna have to mess with the gain knob, your volume level on the interface or mixer, and your volume on whatever source you're using on your computer. So that is going to be the thing about it. It's going to be probably different for everybody, but for the most part, I didn't really have that big an issue. I like it. It's really nice to not have to worry about wires. So there you go. So in a nutshell, you can't go wrong with this device. It gets the job done and gives you the freedom to move around, enjoy the art of performance by jumping off stage, standing on a drum set, if you will. That is, if you're one of those pesky guitar player types. Okay, little troubleshooting tip. Now, if you come into a problem with interference, because Wi-Fi can get kind of screwy, there is a solution. Say you're using an iPad or a tablet with your wireless system that your band uses, all right? Let's say you get into a problem with an interference. Here's what you do. Use your Wi-Fi router to use the same channel when it's powered on. Go into your settings so you use the 2.462 channel 11. Then take the U4 and set it to channel 1. This way, the router and the U4 are on opposite ends of the Wi-Fi channels. This method was found from another user who uses the product, and since I haven't had a gig for months now, he had the chance to test it out. I'll take his word for it, but test it out for yourself. If you use a digital mixer, you might have to tweak it a little bit so it fits your setup. Maybe have a laptop hardwired into your digital mixer just to be sure and be safe, just in case anything happens. You really can't get your tablet to work, then you just have to get this thing called a dual band router and hook up your tablet to the 5.8 gigahertz option. Lots of more pricey options out there, but you really can't go wrong with the U4 Xvive wireless monitoring system. So the pros are incredible battery life, the range is awesome, the size and durability is stellar, the belt clip on the back of the receiver is solid. The cons: no exchangeable battery, if that's a worry for you. A mono signal, but you really don't have to worry about it. But there are stereo options, and that's pretty much about it. If you're interested in this fantastic product and want this in your life, I put an affiliate link in the description at the end of this video. Go ahead and check that out. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff that helps keep the channel going. I hope all of you are working and appreciating life right now, if you're able to. And thank you so much for the support. And we will see you in the next video.